Hello, Mike Bradley. I hope you are doing well as always. So, if you're a regular viewer, you may recognise this guitar, and I've just got it back from a complete facelift, and my God, it sounds good. So if you're a new viewer to me or a regular viewer and just haven't watched me for a little bit, a little backstory. So this is my old blue Strat. I call it blue. It's kind of like an aqua blue, isn't it? It's hopefully the light's kind of picking it up, but let's call it blue for argument's sake. But this is my old Strat, which I've had for 20 years, believe it or not. And I did a video a few months ago, probably March, April time. And a friend of mine, hello Mark, if you're watching, my friend Mark, he sent me some pickups to put in it because for a long time it had these prototype pickups which just didn't work out and I wasn't liking at all. And Mark sent me some Fender custom shop pickups and a Damasio bridge pickup. I did a video on it previously. I'll put a link to a card if you want to check it out so you can hear how it used to sound. And I stuck those in. And I wasn't liking it. And it wasn't really the pickups. It was just the guitar. The guitar was dead. The frets on this old thing was as flat as a pancake. You know, it was almost fretless. It just wasn't enjoyable to play. It didn't sound good. It was lifeless. That was the way I was really describing it. It was just lifeless. And then I got in touch with Dave from Eternal Guitars. And you may have seen a Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat I had for a bit recently. Again, I'll put a card up if you want to check that out later on. And that guitar sounded incredible. And hopefully, if you check out the video, you have checked out the video, you will see what I mean. It sounds amazing. Incredible doesn't even do it justice. And he had, obviously, he made the whole guitar and he had these kind of low wind 58 style pickups which are very much in the Stevie Ray Vaughan territory. And after that video we got chatting a bit and he said, look, do you want some of those pickups? I was like, yeah, I think I will, and you can put in my old blue Strat. And you know what, let's do an overhaul on it. And I wanted a refret. He was like, yeah, sure. And he refretted it for me, and then when he refretted it, when he took the original frets out, all the old poly lacquer was kind of coming off in chunks. So we ended up refinishing the whole fingerboard in nitro, which hopefully this camera is picking up, but it's incredibly sexy right now. I'm loving the look of it. It's kind of a reverse 70s Strat, where the early 70s Strats had the big headstock with lacquer on the headstock and then poly on the fretboard. Fingerboard, and this is the opposite, where it's now got nitro fingerboard and a poly headstock, but I like it. And he put a new nut in it, and he put the pickups which are in that Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat. As you might have heard so far in the clips you might have heard, it's in that ballpark, isn't it? It's an incredible guitar. When I got it, I just played it unplugged. At the moment, I'm in E flat at the moment because I thought it'd be quite a cool comparison with the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat video. So I've just put some 11s on and tuned it to E flat and to get that kind of Stevie-esque bluesy tone sound. But when he gave me the guitar, I played it unplugged and I was just like, oh wow, there you go. And then when I plugged it in, it was... I just loved it straight away. And I got it back about 2 weeks ago. I've probably done about 7 gigs with it. And whenever I'm doing gigs, people are like, what's that guitar? That sounds great. So I believe the frets what he's putting here are jumbo 6000 fret size, which is great for a nice bit of bending. Such a beautiful sounding guitar now. And as I said, he's put this nitro lacquer on it, and you know, like I said, I've had this guitar for 20 years, and in my kind of late teens, I paid £300 for this guitar. Or was it 350? I can't remember, but I bought it second hand. The guy was moving to America, who I bought it from, and I just found it in the local paper, and he was moving to America, and he was just saying his stuff, and I was a teenager still, and I think I just passed my driving test, and I kind of drove to his place, and you know, I just loved the colour, and I wanted a maple fingerboard because I already had this guitar, which I've had since I was 14 years old. And actually, Dave has done a bit of work on this as well, because the frets were coming out. So this is kind of back 100% working order again. So I had this, and I wanted a maple board. And, you know, this was my main guitar from, you know, 17 to about 21. This was my main guitar. And it's got so many stories on it. There's a, I don't know, again, hopefully this is picking up here. If not, I'll do another shot. But you can see a crack there. And I threw that against a wall at a gig because this guitar used to snap a lot of strings, and I was playing like a showcase with my old band, and the first chord of the first song, I remember the singer kind of, he had that, and I came out going, I would hit a low E, and I hit it and I snapped the sixth string. So it was like that, you know, and then my riff was very Oasis-y. But of course it was coming out as, it was just hideous. And so I remember I just took it off and I threw it, you know, things you do when you're 18 years old, and I just threw it against the wall and picked up that Strat. And the ironic thing, the last song of that set, I snapped the high E string on that guitar. But I went through a phase of just snapping a lot of strings. I was 18, had a lot of angst in me, and hit the guitar incredibly hard. And I'm not 18 anymore, but I still hit the guitar incredibly hard. But hope I don't snap as much strings anymore. Hardly ever snap strings anymore. But reason I kind of said that, because obviously now I've got the Nitro fingerboard, and a friend of mine, actually Mark again, he was saying to me, oh, why don't you get it the whole body refinished, you know, because then you got your kind of vintagey Strat. But I love guitars. I love guitars that tell stories, and for me, you know, there's all these little stories in on the guitar, and just saying, because I've had it for so long, I mean, and I hate change. I absolutely hate change, and I love the fact that this fingerboard has been changed now. But I remember there was 2 chunks of lacquer had come off about there on the 21st and 22nd fret through strumming for 20 years there, you know. So it just wore it away, and obviously now that's gone. So part of me is like, oh, you know, bit of history's been erased there, but I can let it go because the guitar sounds so good. So what can we learn from this? A lot of times, you know, I'm sure if you're watching this here, you might have more than one guitar. You might have several guitars. And we go through a phase of just wanting new stuff, and then you get new stuff, and you want even more new stuff, and you get new stuff, and then you want to get more stuff, you know. Where this guitar, you know, I've had it, like I said, since February 2002, I remember getting this. And for the last 8 years, 6, 7 years, it's kind of been in my rack a little bit. I haven't, no, up until recently, I hadn't gigged it in a long time, probably since 2012. That's 10 years ago, isn't it? And I remember I did use it on my last EP, the song Meet Again. That's this guitar, but with the pickups which I had in for the longest time, which are some Fender noiseless pickups. But if you check out my song Meet Again on Spotify, if you want to go to my website, you can get a CD. But if you go on Spotify and check out a song of mine called Meet Again, it's this guitar, which I kind of played earlier in sound bites. Really pretty song, means a lot to me, that song as well. And you know, so I was using it still, but it certainly wasn't my, you know, in my top 5 guitars really. But it still meant a lot to me. But since Dave at Eternal Guitars has done this has swiftly become my go-to guitar. Like I say, in the space of, well, as of filming it today, 2 weeks ago I picked it up and I've done 7 gigs with it already. And, you know, I'm just loving it. I'm playing it loads at home. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen some little clips of me playing it. You know, it's just a fantastic guitar. So, you know, it's worth, if you've got a guitar you've had for donkeys, you know, an old Strat, an old Telly, an old Les Paul, you know, maybe just treat it to a little manicure. Let's think of it like that, a little manicure. And the irony, you know, I just want to say, this is not an advertisement for Eternal Guitars here. Dave doesn't know I'm doing this video. I'm just doing it because I like sharing. And just like we all do, we're all big geeks. You know, in the repairs, I've paid more on getting the fret job and, you know, the new nut and lacquering the net. That cost me more than what I paid for the actual guitar. You know, but I would pay double it because A, he's done an amazing job, and B, I absolutely adore this guitar now, you know, where, you know, am I bothered that the body's not finished in nitro cellulose? Not at all, because it sounds great, you know, and I'm absolutely loving the E flat sound as well. I do think a guitar, I mean, that's a whole other video. I've done videos in the past, you know, standard tuning versus E flat with mic 2 and stuff, if you want to check that out. And, you know, a guitar in E flat does really sound better. But I know I've been kind of waffling and chatting a lot in this video, but just so you can hear some sounds, here's the net pickup with a bit of a overdrive from the Seymour Duncan 805. Neck and middle. Middle pickup. Really like that middle pickup. Middle and bridge. And then then the bridge pickup. You know, these are very, very low output, and I've always thought I like low output pickups, but I really like low output pickups. They make such a difference, and it makes the amp work harder. I'm using the same amp which I used in that Stevie Ray Vaughan video, my old Fender Supersonic. I went to the garage to get that, because it's kind of been my gigging amp, so it's been kind of living in the garage for a bit. But that middle pickup, man. Want a bit more gain? So I've never had a physical manicure in my life, but this is the best damn manicure on my guitar I've ever had in my life, that's for damn sure. It's such a great guitar. Dave, if you're watching this, mate, honestly, you beautiful man. It's such a great sounding guitar now. I love it so much. These pickups are incredible, but it's the whole thing, you know, it's the pickups, it's the frets, the new nut. I do think that the lacquered, nitro lacquered fingerboard has had a little je ne sais quoi to it as well. But these low output pickups are just so nice, and it gets you in that Stevie Ray Vaughan territory, you know, or certainly the tone of that, you know. I don't sound anything like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, but you know, it certainly gets me there, you know, as soon as I start doing the, what are we doing? You'll be seeing this even more because, again, actually this guitar is in my most viewed video ever, the Telecaster versus Stratocaster video. So it's been viewed by a lot of people, and you know, so it has been, you know, you've certainly seen it before, but it dropped out for a little bit, but oh good God, she's back. She is back. Anyway, thank you so much for checking this out. If this is your first video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well when you're there. Tell your friends, tell your nan, and I'll see you very soon in a very hot room. I've been Mike Bradley, you've been you. Thanks very much. The blue Strat's back. Mike Bradley signing out. Bye.